The Abyss is back.
And so are we.
Do I got crazy eyes, Britton?
You got the craziest eyes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I think I need to leave.
Because we got
I don't feel safe anymore.
Because we got a crazy story. My eyes are wide open.
I think we have crazy stories.
I'm trying to blink in reverse. It's so damn crazy.
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
How does one blink in reverse? Please tell me.
It's not pretty. That's all I'm going to say.
I want to know what you're even going
pretty.
towards.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. Clete blinking in reverse. That is the story for this evening.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to...
Reverse blinking.
Luckily I wrote a 15-minute monologue in which I'll go over this. Yeah, never mind. I got a better story. So, today, digging through my garage, I'm going to say, when I bought this house, garage was just full. It wasn't even my stuff.
It's not your stuff. They just left with a garage full of stuff.
Some of it was mine, but a majority of it was not. Okay.
Mm. And this is the garage. Is this the garage that's detached?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not attached. I've been cleaning it out over time. Okay. So there's been about 4 to 5 dump runs.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to dump 5 times, that's a big deal.
Well, hang on, though. Are you putting it in your little Hyundai Accent?
No, it's my buddy's van. It's huge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like not as big as a U-Haul, but it's close.
I'd say 4 Hyundai Accent loads is really not that big of a load.
Yeah.
But a van, that's good.
They were big loads.
Big, massive loads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, I'm going through the boxes. We found some interesting stuff. The first thing I found was like an art bag, like canvases, some paint. But, I was digging through like just an old shelf through a box, and I found 11 DVDs. Now, we used to have DVDs and, you put movies or music on them. And
we used to have DVDs.
Yeah, we don't anymore. We stream. But, when you would burn something, what would you make the title of what you burned?
Yeah, just write what the title was.
Yeah. All this said, and I kid you not, all it said was DVD 1, DVD 2, DVD 3, all the way up to DVD 11.
Oh, man.
Just white CDs in a little white case. They're all separate. And it's just like, first of all, you got to be doing something shady if that's how you're labeling your DVDs.
This is the first DVD of 11.
Yeah. It's probably like I'm gonna load up the DVD and it's someone throwing a bike off like a 90-story building.
Yeah. When you first showed me that video, you were laughing so hard. A guy just throwing a bike off a roof.
Yeah, I have problems.
But that is really sketchy. But I also feel like if it was really sketchy stuff, that it wouldn't just be in a garage in a box. I feel like that's something you'd keep away.
So you're saying that, and my counterpoint to your point, is, are you telling me there's not some sketchy stuff in America's garages that people have forgotten about and moved away?
I'm not saying that at all.
I think you're wrong. I think that if someone's hiding that and they just forget because maybe they get arrested or something and you never see them again, maybe it is. I don't know. I threw them away. I didn't even look.
So they're not at the house anymore. Like, we can't go get them out of the trash now. They're at the dump. Because, you're telling me I'm wrong. I kind of want to know if I'm wrong or right.
It's in my trash, but you don't want to be digging through there. It's full.
That's fair.
Yeah, it'll be gone.
I'm not going to
Thursday.
go dumpster diving. It's like, what's in your trash, Clete? DVD 12.
DVD 11.
So it's just one box full of 11 DVDs.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? Did you ever
Sinister?
Did you ever? Well, yeah, but did you ever see the movie VHS?
Yeah, I love that movie.
It's exactly like that, where you just find a bunch of VHSs, you put them in, it's just these messed up videos.
I almost feel like it'd be more creepy if you found VHSs.
I feel like this is a new age VHSs. We're gonna make a movie. It's called
DVDs. CDs. CD.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you raise a good point, though. I do want to know what's on them, but at the same time, I don't. Because heaven forbid you see something that you can't unsee.
Yeah.
And I think that we've always alluded to prior charges from the person who owned this house before. You tie the dots. I think it's something you want to
tie the dots. Tie the knots. Wait, what?
What?
Kid.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty creepy. But so a box of art stuff and DVDs were the most intense things you found in your whole garage.
Yeah. Nothing other than really old stuff.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I ripped all the walls out of our basement because we're getting ready to build it up. So that's what I did.
Was there people in the walls?
No.
Okay.
No DVDs, nothing. I mean, the guy who built it did a really shoddy job, but that was the worst.
All right. That's sad.
I do have to say, though, on a completely different topic, in 3 days' time, will be our 2-year anniversary from kicking this thing off.
Oh, damn.
2 years ago.
We'll have to do something really special.
Yeah. So the next episode will be our 2-year celebration episode.
Damn.
Something most special.
If you guys can think of something for us to cover, let us know.
Maybe a special question for the spirit box.
Yeah. What's my name? Okay.
So, Clete, what's the topic for this evening?
This is actually one of my favorites. This is one of our biggest hits when it comes to our Reddit thread. So we're doing a Reddit thread, and the theme is going to be long haul truckers and road trippers. What is the creepiest thing you've encountered on the road?
Ooh, snap.
So first of all, there's just something inherently, I don't want to, this is a weird word to say, majestic about the road. You know?
Wow.
Like there's something
inherently majestic.
Yeah. Like, I just feel like, first of all, I think being a trucker would be a pretty good job. You know, I think the pay's okay.
Interest before.
And like the idea of just seeing the scenery, but like in those moments where you're driving between like cities and states, when you're in those places in the middle of nowhere.
Nothing.
Yeah, there's some about that. And it's like, especially when it's night and you're just like, you know what? If there was no road here and I wasn't in a car, I'd probably die.
And that's majestic to you.
Yeah,
you like this.
It's like coming back to nature, you know?
Please blinking backwards again, folks.
Oh, God. It's going back into the inky blackness of the abyss, which is on the interstate.
That's deep. I got nothing for you. I think being a trucker would be fun, but I think it'd get old really fast.
I'm telling you, if you're driving in the middle of the night listening to something scary, do you feel like you'd be more scared or less than if you were at your home?
Absolutely.
Why?
I mean, because you're in the middle of nowhere, man.
Anything
Just like you
can
said.
happen, right?
Like, because, yeah, your car breaks down. Let's say you're the only car in like several miles. You're in the middle of just nothing. There's no lights.
And you hear a swoop and you're like, that's a motherfucking Mothman.
Yeah.
I'm not even in Louisiana. I'm kidding. It's not there.
Where'd you get those creepers? Fucked it up. See
like I can't even outrun my friend here. I'm just going to die.
Yeah. You don't have to outrun them. Just the slowest person in your group.
Yeah. That's always been my motto.
But just like Clete said, this was among our most popular Reddit thread, the long haul trucker. And we did one before, but it was like, what's the creepiest, most paranormal thing? So this is just genuine, what's the creepiest thing you've encountered?
Yeah.
And we do have one of our listeners, a good friend of mine, who is a long haul trucker. And, he said that he was listening to it while on a run. And he's like, it was pretty creepy listening to that in the middle of nowhere. So I think we achieved our goal. Okay, so I will go ahead and give us kicked off. This is from Absolute 4080120. And I said the name just to spite Clete because he's like, you're not going to say this name, are you? Yes. Yes, I am. Not trucker, but worked with them. Handled insurance and hired a new driver. Background check is pending, so the company needed drivers bad. So they hired him before it came back. Uh-oh. Bad news bears.
Yeah. I'm sure he doesn't have a criminal record.
I'm sure of it. First day on the job, the guy flipped his truck. We checked a GPS and routing for the day. The dude ran his route pretty regularly except for stopping at this sketchy house twice and stopping at some park near lunchtime for approximately 90 minutes.
Oh, he's friends with you then, huh?
No, it's some majestic house in the middle of nowhere.
All right.
We're nearing the end of our investigation and wrapping up the claim when we get called from the company that he's been terminated. His background check came back with multiple charges. He'd been arrested for methamphetamine charges and dealing multiple times, as well as multiple charges of acts with minors. Ugh. You know what I'm talking about. Google image searched the locations he went to. It looked like he stopped for drugs. The place he parked to eat lunch was a playground outside of a school. We denied the file and reported to police.
You told me your last job was at a math lab. A math lab.
No, I must have misspoke there, sir. It was definitely a meth lab.
You only test for the soft stuff, right? All right.
A little bump here and there is okay, right? Just a little bit.
All right. This one is written by T.N. Sandsnake. Pronounced correctly. My cousin and I were driving east on I-40, east of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We were in a truck towing a car plus a lot of luggage. out breath.
That was very aggressive in the middle of a sentence.
So we were going fairly slow, probably within 5 of the speed limit at all times, even less if going uphill. This is one of my favorite drives in the country. The desert in New Mexico is so serene, and the highways don't have a lot of traffic. More often than not, it felt as if we were the only vehicles on the road. It was late afternoon in February 2014, and a brand new blue Shelby GT500 sped past us, going probably about 20 miles per hour faster than us. It took a mental note of it, because back in 2014, Shelby GT500s were even less common than they are now, and I was fairly surprised to see one out here. About 40 minutes later, the same Shelby GT500 passed us. I mentioned it to my cousin, and we agreed it probably stopped for gas and caught up to us. But another 40 minutes later, it passed us again, and then again in another 40 minutes. It got to the point where we started a timer and would check the side mirrors at 39 minutes, and sure enough, we'd see it coming. Now, this area has good visibility. When you come to an exit, you can see where the exit leads to. You can see the crossroad and the gas stations or any other stops. So when we passed an exit, we would look for the car, and we never see any sign of it. Anyways, this continued for hours through the Texas Panhandle into Oklahoma, and all the way until we made it to our stop in Oklahoma City. It was bizarre. Maybe they were drug runners or something?
Or something.
That story has more questions than answers.
Yeah, it does. It also has a lot of comments after it. I had to scroll way far down to get to the next one.
Yeah.
I mean, logically, it's a time loop, right? That's the only logical thing.
Or maybe it was a haunted. What was it called again?
Yeah, screw the time loop. I think you're onto it. It's a haunted.
It was a haunted GT500.
That's it.
Could you see someone driving in the car? If not, it was a ghost.
It was definitely a ghost.
Or a skeleton.
One of those majestic ghosts on those majestic freeways in the majestic middle of nowhere.
You know what that reminds me of?
Huh.
Deep down inside ourselves is a spooky skeleton.
You're so dumb. Okay, so this one comes from Intense Nerd. I live in Idaho and drove to Missouri several times while courting my now ex-wife. There was a night I was crossing Nebraska and was quite alone on the road. I saw what I thought was a shooting star fly past my passenger side window. Then I realized it was a small single-engine plane on fire. I remember it landing in the dirt and seeing 2 guys run from it as it went up. I always wondered if there was anyone else in there.
Oh, sad.
Jeez. A single-engine plane on fire just crash lands into the field next to you, and 2 guys just run out. And he's like, I wonder if there was a 3rd person in there. Not if they're okay. Like,
I wonder if somebody died.
he just kept on driving, whistling. Like, that was weird.
Not my problem.
Not in the middle of nowhere. I ain't stopping.
The next one is from Sabrooks84.
Sabrooks.
Back in 2003, I was with my roommates and their band on tour through California to Texas. Cool flex. We were just outside of El Paso, Texas at 3 a.m. on the freeway. I saw 2 young girls in ethereal white flowing gowns in the middle of the freeway while I was driving. I promptly exited at the nearest hotel to stay for the night after seeing that kind of thing. That's responsible. My God.
So this story ended responsibly. He's like, and I'm done driving for the evening. And that's it for me. This is from Brancher. Man, I was driving through the res the other night, which is already a huge no-no. I was tired as fuck from hunting all day, and I just wanted to get home. If I had been anywhere other than on the res, I would have pulled over and slept. But anyway, I rounded a turn and I saw this short black figure jump behind the guardrail. It scared me so bad I jumped in my driver's seat. I know it was just my sleep-deprived brain playing tricks on me.
So when he says a res, I'm assuming Indian reservation.
I didn't think so.
You know, it's interesting, the paranormal activity people talk about that happens there. We'll have to cover that in a future episode.
Yeah, there's been a lot of episodes Indian reservations do have a lot of energy.
And skinwalkers, and people say that
Walking Sam.
the Native Americans had some sort of connection with the paranormal somehow.
Yeah, it's all that peyote.
All right, this is one of my favorites. This one is from Not Another Whatever. A human arm and leg just chilling on the pavement.
Oh,
That's the first sentence. I will continue. Dump truck versus motorcycle near Rollins.
oh no.
They hadn't gotten police or ambulance there yet, so they were just kind of there. Alternatively, and I can guess, human trafficking bust?
Oh.
We pulled up at a truck stop near Death Valley, pretty close to that giant thermometer thing, and noticed a lot of police lights flashing across the way. Assumed it was probably a drug bust. Got gas, got our snacks, got back into the truck in time to see them open up the back. They used clippers on it, and out tumbled people.
Wow.
You know, I know a couple key facts there. There was an arm and a leg, and people leaving a car alive or dead.
Yeah, they opened up the back and a bunch of people ran out.
Oh, hang on here. It said update. It was a small car, but there was 9 clowns in it, and they were all dead. They were all dead.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah.
There's a clown arm on the
It looked
freeway.
like they were just one clown, but it was 9 pancakes.
It's like, stop clowning around, people. This is from jaded_persimmon. I was extorted by a cop in the bayou somewhere. Said either I give him $75 cash or I can ask the judge for my car back on Monday. This happened around 11 p.m. on Friday. I was from out of state. My crime was following the trucks across the median, and he said it was illegal to cross it in spite of its obvious long-term use to get across the street, and that all the trucks were going over it. How's that the creepiest thing you've ever seen?
Yeah, I feel like they went to the wrong thread.
Yeah.
I bet you that this guy has been pissed for years. He's like, one day I'm going to find a thread on Reddit, and I'm going to complain, and this is the one. This is the one he picked.
I think he went here because it just said road. I think he went to every Reddit thread with the word road in it.
Road trip.
Road trip. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to just throw it all over the place. Never mind that it says long haul truckers. What's the creepiest thing you've ever heard? He's like, I got a ticket once for going over median. Get out of here.
All right, the next one is OK_beautiful_1273.
All right. Okay,
I
beautiful.
read it how it was. A few years ago, I'm not sure how many, honestly, I was coming over Snoqualmie. How do you say?
Excuse me?
Yeah, we're just going to go with Snoqualmie.
Snoqualmie.
Yeah.
Snoqualmie.
The way he said pass in Washington, and a truck hauling cattle
Cattle car keys.
pass in Washington, and a truck hauling cattle carcasses had lost its load.
Oh, no. This is like Final Destination on crack.
There were dozens of carcasses in various states of fucked across the highway.
What?
They were stripped hang on, this is bad. This is gross. They were stripped fairly well, but not completely, so had gristle and sinew covering the skeletons. Total fucked up.
Oh, no.
Another time on I-5 in Seattle, I saw a chicken hauler that overturned. It looked like a feather bomb went off. It was pretty funny, actually. Then all the motorcycle accidents, seeing people broken into bits, or the one guy with an open face helmet that had his lower jaw ripped off is hard to unsee.
I think that makes up for the last one I read.
What's with this guy like running into
Livestock.
weird animal crashes? Like, at what point do you just say, like, am I the animal omen?
Right. He gets off and he's like, oh, that has nope.
You tell me, like, in a span of 2 years, like, you just see these horrific accidents involving farm animals on the highway. At what point do you consider yourself the common denominator?
I've made it 30 years of my life without seeing one.
Yeah,
I see
same.
one, I'm done. But 2, yeah, no, that cow one was messed up. And then a feather bomb.
It was funny until
Yeah, until that guy's jaw came off. Yeah, I think you're right though. He's a livestock murderer.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do it.
What you do is you take off them lug nuts and you follow them down the highway.
I mean, it's one thing, like, you know, I made the joke about Final Destination. I think our whole generation, when you see like a logging truck, everyone thinks about that.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. But like you don't think of cows being like dragged behind this truck for states and it's just bone and sinew. And how did the driver not notice? There's like bits of cow
I'm
just like
sure he
rolling
stopped,
down.
but it's just like it opened. He's going like 80. So like once they go, They're going for a while,
He's
man.
like, oh, that sucks.
They're probably catching air. I wouldn't be surprised if a cow hit a windshield. Maybe someone got killed, Britton. Maybe a cow hoof just went right through the windshield, right through someone's face.
Did you say a cow hoof?
Yeah, a little hoof.
One hoof is called a hoof.
Yeah.
Hooves.
Yeah, the
is multiple.
hooves. The hooves went through the face. I'm saying plural here. Like
you said
four,
one hoof.
Yeah, one of the hooves. The other hooves went through other places. 4 hooves to the face.
This story just went crazy. Yeah, someone took a hoof to the face on the freeway while they're driving.
What an unlikely turn of events.
And Chick-fil-A won that day. It was a Chick-fil-A publicity stunt because all their signs say eat more chicken.
I said eat more cows or eat more chicken, motherfucker. This is your fault.
You're gonna dump the cows across the freeway, then no one's eating them. Oh man. Okay. You can make me say this name, huh? This is what I get for wanting to say the names.
Yep.
This comes from twisted_nipples82.
Nice.
Is it nice? Is it nice? I watched a guy jump off the Twin Falls Bridge. No parachute. The car in front of me tried to stop, then turned around, but it was too late. That was a somber day. Another time, there was a black shadow on the side of the road that didn't line up with the other shadows around it. All of a sudden moved away as I got close. Not sure if that came from sleep deprivation or what, but it was eerie and abnormal.
So those black dogs they talk about.
Yeah, the comment, like the black dog? Question mark?
I didn't even read that.
Sure.
We went over it in our last episode. I remember.
Yeah, black dogs are crazy. That first one was a little intense, though. That's not something you just bounce back from seeing that
Oh, yeah. Jumping off the
bridge. Yeah.
Not cool.
Okay.
That's your comment, Clete? Not cool?
Not cool.
This one is from notsocialbutterfly_. This wasn't a road trip, but it's terrifying. So I'll put it here just in case someone is curious.
Already breaking the rules.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Not my story. It's my dad's.
God damn it.
When my mom was pregnant with me, she was really craving something and told my dad to get out and get it.
It was cow hooves.
It's a delicacy. Hey, pregnant women like weird stuff.
Especially as it, like, travels to your face at 400 miles an hour.
I need peanut butter pickles. All right.
Ugh.
It was around 2 or 3 in the morning, so we stopped at a 24-hour fast food place and got our food there. My dad loved to drive fast and often smoked pot.
That's responsible.
Britain's a big fan of doing that, right? Huh?
No.
Huh? Fist bump right here? Come on.
Driving fast while smoking pot.
All right.
He's like, I like to get up to 90 on this road. Dad,
It's
it's
only-
25. I don't care.
Only way I can get a thrill now. I'm so unhappy.
Your mom let me out of the house finally. I'm going to blaze up a reefer and just take this car as fast as it could go.
Roll down the window. All right.
Have you ever seen Back to the Future, kids?
Back to the story. So he was more comfortable on the back roads, so he wouldn't get caught.
Smart.
Smart guy. On his way back, he noticed a figure walking along the side of the road. From what he explained, it looked exactly like a man with a black hoodie. The hood was up, so he couldn't see who it was. My dad was a pretty good guy overall, so he slowed down, and as his car crept toward this figure, he rolled down his window. His initial idea was to offer this person a ride home so they didn't have to walk in the dark.
So, but the story is here. He's going like 90 with weed just spilling out of the sides. Like, do you want to ride?
You know, this
Takes off.
leads to a good question, Britton. Let's say you're stranded, okay? And by stranded, I mean like you got to walk maybe 5 miles to get home, okay? It's like 2 a.m. Well, it's 3 a.m. in this case, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, you're like, man, my legs hurt. I've been walking a while. Car slows down, right? Middle of nowhere. It's the only car that's going
Like
to stop.
screeches, like,
Doesn't screech. Just slowly stops, rolls down his window, and just a pile of smoke comes out.
a pile of
Yeah,
smoke.
you can just smell it. And you could clearly the guy's just high out of his mind.
Clearly.
Would you accept the ride?
No.
All right, good. I wouldn't either.
No. I feel like he'd get aggressive.
Yeah, get in the
He's
car.
like, it wasn't a question. Get in the fucking car. Said no. Yeah, no, it's a hard pass for me there.
All right, back to the story. As his car almost stopped, the figure looked at him. The way he explained it was that the man had a face that looked like a television static whenever you lost your TV signal, and its neck stretched until the head made its way in into the car and staring at him inches away.
So, this is the pot.
That reefer must have been crazy.
So it's a television static giraffe.
If you saw that, dude, I'd be scared.
Yeah, you think?
I'd be like, man, there should be better programming. All right. My dad immediately swerved the car over to get away. So imagine this guy's just a regular dude. And he almost ended up wrecking his car. He drove home as fast as he could. When I still lived with him, he refused to take me down that road. I begged him, and he still refused, which is probably the best idea. But I'm curious, and I want to know. Either this really happened, or he was super high. I don't know. But there's an even scarier story that someone else in our family has told me about the same thing. It's a lot to type, though, so I'll talk about it only if people seem interested. Only people in our family have seen it, though, and I'm curious. I want to see it, as messed up as that sounds. You're telling me some haunted TV man is stalking your family. Giraffe.
Yeah, I love the little baiting thing at the end. Like, I'll only talk about it if you really want to know. I'll just leave that there. Sure, bud. Sure.
I'm like looking. They never replied. But
of course not.
Man,
it's because the giraffe got him.
Damn giraffes.
TV static giraffe. Okay, this is from 74 Misanthrope. Misanthropy?
Yeah.
74 Misanthropy. Saw a guy speeding past me on a crotch rocket as I went to see a man about a dog. Not that dog. Upon heading back down the road about 5 minutes later, saw people jumping out of a car and running toward a field on the opposite side of the road. As I got closer, I saw what they were running toward. It was the guy I had passed earlier that sped down the road. Evidently, he'd run off the road and catapulted into a creek, where he hit the bank with his head. The momentum had thrown him over the bank and into the field. The bike was still running, so this had just happened, and the people in the car were friends of his that lived up the road and saw what happened. As soon as I saw him and how he was lying there, I knew that he was dead and he'd broken his neck. When you ever see that, you don't forget it.
Sad.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, next one.
Moving on.
I had nothing to say there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't either.
This one is from I_am_, not a goose. It's not a goose.
Not a goose.
Yeah. If you call him a goose, he'll get silly.
I am not convinced.
Yeah.
This is a goose.
Not really sure if this counts. And I definitely made it too long. But it was a road-related situation, and it really creeped me out for some time. The way he wrote it, and really creeped for me at the time.
It really creeped for me, man.
Yeah,
I'm not a goose.
I grew up in England, in a place that's about as rural as it gets there. I used to have a multi-hour journey each way to get to college, equivalent to high school, in this case for non-UK readers. And part of the journey was through the kind of narrow, twisting lanes where the road is the same width as whatever tractor the local farmer has, and there's grass growing down the middle between the wheel of the tracks. I don't understand that. These lanes also have steep banks on either side because they've been gradually eroded over literal centuries of use and are enclosed by old trees with gnarly roots that hang down the sides of the banks. In short, they can be pretty creepy places on your own at night. Someone actually filmed a horror film in that area a couple of years later based around the local roads and a nearby abandoned mansion. As I was still 16, I couldn't drive a car until I was 17. I had to make this journey on a 50cc moped. The route that the few local people generally took involved driving through a ford, but my moped always cut out if I went through because water got into electrics. This is hard to read, I'm sorry. So I had to take a detour that pretty much no one used except the local farmer accessing his fields, though a lot of the route was through woodland. I could tell from seeing my own tire tracks in the mud that I was often the last person to use the road each night and the first each morning. So I'm coming home along this stretch of road particularly late one evening in the depths of winter when my moped decides for some inexplicable reason to cut out and die.
Because it's a moped.
He ran out of gas.
It's a moped.
Yeah, you know.
It's 50cc moped.
Some nice mopeds out there. There wasn't any water, which is what normally used to make it cut out, and it's not something it had ever done before. I can't get it restarted either, so I pull it as far to the side of the road as I can in case I have to abandon it, and in frustration, I hit the instrument panel, which causes the lights to die. Great. So now I'm stuck in pitch darkness with no one for miles around and a strong wind howling eerily through the trees above me. I'm going to pause here. I bet someone pulls over, rolls down his window, screams, and drives away. And I think he was high.
Probably.
It's overcast, so there's no moonlight or stars. Obviously, I have no cell phone signal. This is Deep Valley, and it was a few years back when mobile signals was much patchier than today.
Oh my God, the grammar in this.
It's hard. It's hard to read. So I have to try and get myself out of this situation somehow. I get out my phone anyway. It doesn't have a torch, but I think maybe I can try and use the light from the screen for a bit to try to get my moped running again. As I open it, something catches my eye. I look to my left, and I am literally face to face with a gravestone, just inches away from my nose. I can read it quite clearly, and it says, "At this spot, A.B. surname lost his life through a carriage accident, 13th January 1843. Note, name removed and year not certain." So he didn't put their real name.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fake.
Fake name.
Yeah. Could have been
Fake
Clifford,
name.
the big red dog.
Yep.
I don't know.
Say fake name, fake death. Took a cow hoof to the face.
He died by taking 4 cow hoofs in the face in
Four
a freak carriage accident.
It was that damn feather bomb.
To make it especially creepy, it was the 13th of January. Well, I think I audibly yelped. I suddenly felt like I was in a horror film and nearly turned my underwear a new shade of brown.
I think this is going to be one of those stories that we read often. It's like 500 paragraphs with no sustenance.
Yeah, we're almost done. Maybe it'll get better. Probably not.
I doubt it.
It was a bit of an anticlimax, though, really. Wow, that was a funny setup.
Told you.
The moped eventually started working again just as randomly as it stopped, and I drove home carefully without a headlight since I knew there would be no one around anyway. I think I kept an indicator on or something just in case. It wasn't actually a grave, just a memorial. I still tried to avoid the road after dark where possible, though. I was like, where's the body? One odd thing did happen, maybe a couple of weeks later, though.
I don't even care to hear about it.
We're going to read it. Occasionally, my mum, because that's how they spell it there.
Mum.
My mum.
My mum.
Occasionally, my mom would make me supper.
Hello, mummy.
My mom would be available to drive me to and from my college, and one such day, there had been a lot of rain, so the ford was impassable by car, and she drove via the route past the memorial stone.
So hang on. So he couldn't drive a car before because he was like 16, 17, right? And he's driving a moped. Now he's in college, and his mum is taking him to college. Like, what's his excuse now?
Because he's Momo's boy.
Okay.
Note that this was in broad daylight and decent weather. Shortly before the stone, there was a very tight 90-degree corner, and as she drove around she suddenly stopped the car dead. After a brief moment, she started driving again, and everything was normal, but she found it very hard to explain what happened. She said it was just like the road disappeared in front of her, and there was just blackness. Something like some kind of black dog story. It's not that at all. Other people have told on here. She did do a lot of long-distance late-night driving at the time, but it's maybe also worth noting that she wasn't a complete stranger to certain nefarious substances at the time either. So
Reefers.
She could have been high too.
That's what I'm saying. It's
This
the
story's
reefer.
full of high people.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that.
That's the word of the day. Don't do that.
You know, you could drink a good green tea and get behind the wheel, but don't drink or smoke anything weird. Get behind the wheel. It's bad.
I'm going to go smoke a joint and drive as fast as I can.
Let's go drive a car.
Beer is good.
It's tough.
So are you finally done with that story? Because I was extremely bored.
Yeah, Please continue, Mr. fucking jerk. Anyway, I didn't write it. Why am I getting defensive?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you did write it. Mr. I am not a goose.
She said, I am not Clete.
Okay, so this one's short, very short, and is written by _Patriot. Christmas Eve of 2017. I watched a homeless man step right in front of a car pulling into a gas station. Not enough impact to injure him severely, but it lifted him up. Guess he got to spend the night in comfort, warmth, and a full belly.
Yeah, all right. It's not creepy at all.
No.
It's just sad.
I mean, but is it though?
Welcome to America.
He didn't get injured severely. Just kind of like, boop, lifted him up, and then he's in a hospital bed.
He's not paying that hospital bill.
No, he's not.
We are. All right, this one is from Tech
Chachki.
Chachi. Tech Tachi.
Tech Chachki.
Check Chachi. This one's by Tech Tachi.
Shut up. Just read the damn thing.
What's on Reddit? I talked about what I see on the roads if I drive long distances in the dark on low energy, and people called it the black dog. It looks like black shapes crawling across the road or sometimes alongside it. They tend to have limbs and trunks, and at least for me, do not look like dogs.
It's like the black elephant. It's got a big old trunk.
Yeah, and some weird tree trunk elephants. If anything, that was weird. If anything, they're more humanoid, just on all fours, and move as if they don't have bones.
That's some guy on all fours just dragging his trunk across the road.
I'm chasing you.
Nice.
They do not have faces, and they are not inherently frightening. But if you see them, you should be frightened. It means you're much too tired to be driving safely. Fortunately, I'm at the point in my life where I no longer have to drive long distances in the dark on low energy, so I don't see them anymore. Apparently, it's pretty common with truckers, though.
I thought he was going to say, fortunately, I never get tired enough to drive.
Fortunately,
Terribly.
I stay awake every time I stare at them, and they stare back at me. And then before I know it, 4 hours passes, and I'm at my destination, except without pants.
This is from Makeshift Joker. Everyone on the road has heard the legend of the black dog. The black dog supposedly comes when a truck driver has been driving too long and starts to fall asleep at the wheel. He or she will see the ghoul running toward the truck just before the crash. The apparition causes the driver to steer off the road or into traffic and results in an accident that kills the truck driver or an innocent person. The origins of the black dog are difficult to pin down, though. In various pieces of European mythology, dogs have been associated with death. Their scavenging habits may attribute to those beliefs, as well as the fact that black dogs are seen almost universally as malevolent. It's possible the black dog legend is a throwback to a belief held by couriers of freight as far back as Egyptian times.
It's interesting.
Well, that definitely wraps up the Reddit thread on that one, so you know what time it is now, Clete.
Oh, my favorite time of the day. We're going to fire up the spirit box.
We got some questions to ask, courtesy of my wife. She had a few questions that she wanted us to ask, and we'll throw maybe in a couple more in. But again, as the listener, please, if you have any questions you've been dying to ask, send them to us. entertheabysspod@gmail.com. But let's get this thing fired up.
Hot diggity dog.
Okay, the first question we have for you, spirits, is what time period are you from?
Heard something. Yes, hello. What time period?
Did you say 80s?
That's a quick yes. I think I heard Hail Hydra. I don't know. Well, when did you die? What year?
Was your death painful? Yeah, that's what I heard.
Well, then how did you die?
Beer.
Beer? You son of a bitch.
Okay, next question. Are you a cat or a dog person? I think I heard dog,
I heard cat.
because you're a cat person. Is there anything that you want to tell us tonight?
Do any of you guys watch me sleep? Don't say my name. Yeah, you watch me sleep.
Do you like to snuggle up next to him while he sleeps?
How many people like to watch me sleep?
All. I heard all.
I heard that.
All of them. How many of them are you? Or how many are you?
Is my snoring too loud? Would you move to the couch because of that?
Okay, so we're going to sign off. Any last things you need to tell us?
Are you at least angry? Right. Turn it off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And they're gone.
All right.
No more ghosts.
I like that segment.
I think I heard a couple things.
Yeah.
I don't think we got clarification. I thought I heard dog, but you said you heard cat.
I heard definitely a cat.
Like, meow.
Yeah, I even heard a meow after it.
Okay, good for you. All right. Well, I think that just about wraps us up. So, as we said, obviously, 2 years has passed since we started this, and it's just been incredible to do this. So we'll do something special for you all next week.
Yeah, we might even just cry on that episode.
Yeah.
That'll be our little thing there.
Just big man tears.
Big old man tears.
Yeah.
You can be manly and cry.
Yeah, of course. Everybody cries.
All right. Well, if you guys are watching us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for entering the abyss.
Until next time.